tonight. 2 people are being isolated in Minnesota as samples are being tested for the coronavirus. This as confirmed cases hit the Midwest. And the final day of presentations in the impeachment case wraps up. This as the president prepares his defense for a rare Saturday session. And later, the John Bear Grease Sled Dog Marathon kicks off this weekend. How unseasonably warm weather is impacting the mushers.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Kristen has the night off tonight. The Grand Rapids community and the entire state of hockey is coming together tonight to honor a life lost too soon. 9-year-old Marshall Bader died in a farming accident in Boy River Sunday. The third grader loved to play hockey and had dreams of playing at the state tournament. Tonight, Marshall's team will take the ice for the first time since his death. CBS 3's Jenna Wells has more details from the IRA Civic Center.
That's right, Tony. Hundreds of people are expected to show up to this game at the Civic Center tonight to pay tribute to Marshall, their family, friend, and teammate. There's already a lot of people in here right now. The game doesn't start for quite a bit yet, but there's people from the opposing teams and from, of course, the team here in Grand Rapids. Many of them are wearing orange ribbons to honor Marshall, and there is expected to be a moment of silence for Marshall, who was number 5 on the team. If tonight's huge crowd doesn't show what a huge impact Marshall made in his 9 years, the reaction from the entire state this past week sure does. Hockey teams from all across Minnesota and the nation have shown their support for Marshall and his family by putting their hockey sticks out on their front porches and wearing number 5 stickers, since that was Marshall's jersey number. It's sure to be an emotional night for many. We spoke with Marshall's family, friends, and coaches just about an hour ago. They say Marshall was an amazing kid and a very bright light in their community.
There's only one Marshall Bader. There's only one Marshall Bader. No other kid like him. He went a million miles an hour even when he wasn't supposed to. He had this smile and a little glint in his eye when he was playing or even when he was causing trouble. He'd still give you that smile.
Teams across the state have also been fundraising to help Marshall's family do something special to remember their son. If you'd like to contribute, you can donate to the Marshall Bader Memorial Fund or to a GoFundMe account. We have those links on our website, CBS3Duluth.com. And this game gets going in just a few minutes here. It's sure to be an emotional one. So we'll hear more from those who knew Marshall best tonight at 10.
Thanks, Jenna. Let's turn over to the weather now with Dave Anderson. Dave, a few flurries out there. Bringing in the weekend?
Yeah, they should exit by tomorrow morning for at least half of our region, but linger longer for the other side. This big ponderous low pressure system has not been bringing heavy snows, but it's been bringing persistent snow. So the roads are still less than perfect out there. In a few more minutes, I'll show you a chart of what the conditions are like right now. But we'll start with the upper Midwest, which tells us we're going to be in between a low pressure system and a high pressure system, both of them kind of standoffish, so neither really influencing our weather the way they'd like to. Highs tend to bring sunshine, lows tend to bring big storms. We'll be splitting the difference. It's going to be cloudy, and like I mentioned, I think the precip is going to be ending on Saturday, at least for people in Minnesota. It may linger into Saturday afternoon for Wisconsin and the UP, but bottom line is it's going to stay cloudy all weekend long. High temps will be warmer than normal like they've been for the past couple of days, maybe for the whole next week ahead. But once we get towards Groundhog Day, a cool down is finally in sight, and we'll talk about that and other things coming up in just a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. 2 possible cases of coronavirus have been detected in Minnesota. The respiratory pneumonia-like infection was first detected in China about a month ago, and since then, more than 800 cases in several countries have been found. CBS 3's Emma Quinn heard from health officials. She joins us live in the newsroom to explain what the public needs to know. Emma.
That's right, Tony. So we don't know where in Minnesota the possible cases have popped up, but Essentia Health's infectious disease doctor Amanda Noska says during influenza season, Essentia is always prepared for respiratory viruses like the coronavirus. Noska adds there are more precautions being taken with coronavirus than other respiratory illnesses. She says since it's a viral illness, there is no medication to cure it, and the goal is to just make the patient comfortable with Tylenol, pyretics, and provide oxygen support if needed.
The most important thing we can do is protect people with upper respiratory infections from transmitting it by placing a mask on them. If we see somebody with an upper respiratory infection, especially in flu season, it's important to mask folks and to isolate them while they're sick so that it doesn't continue to transmit because it's very contagious.
Earlier this week, the Minnesota Department of Health sent out an alert to all hospitals, clinics, and other health providers to watch for any possible cases. And as of right now, the department is interviewing the 2 patients on their symptoms, recent travels, and those they've been in contact with.
We've received several calls from providers. We currently have 2 specimens that are at CDC for testing, and we're waiting to learn from CDC what the timing will be for receiving those results. But the individuals that we have worked with are being isolated at this time.
Now, at this time, those patients are being isolated at home. Earsman says their illnesses haven't been severe enough to require hospitalization at this time. And now officials say all cases will have testing done to confirm if they are coronavirus. The CDC is handling all those testing, and the health department says they have many samples to sort through right now.
All right, certainly more information to come on this one. Thanks, Emma. A father and his daughter are dead after authorities say a home exploded in Big Fork. It happened around 7:30 yesterday morning. Itasca County authorities say the home was engulfed in flames, power lines were down, and debris was all over the property. 92-year-old Roy Halverson of Big Fork and 62-year-old Christy Lee Kurtz of Malacca both died at the scene. Authorities are still investigating what caused the explosion. Meanwhile, a fire destroyed a home near Cook today. It happened around 2:30 this morning in Angora Township. First responders say the home was engulfed when they got there. No one was hurt, but the cause is still under investigation. We're learning tonight that smoking caused the recent fire that killed an Iron Range woman. That's according to fire officials. Firefighters responded to the Evelyn home on January 14th. They found Bonnie Finney's body inside. The fire destroyed the 77-year-old's home. Finney is one of 8 Minnesotans who have died in fires already this year. 4 of those fires have been caused by smoking. Smoking is usually the leading cause of Minnesota's fatal fires every year. Now, Virginia's fire chief shared tips to avoid becoming a victim.
Smoking is the leading cause of fire fatalities in the state of Minnesota, so we're really focused on that. We really encourage people that smoke to not do it while they're on oxygen. Keep all flammable materials away from your cigarette. Make sure you properly dispose of smoking materials. Don't throw it in a trash can inside. Make sure it's placed outside.
House managers began their 3rd and final day of opening presentation today, wrapping up their case on Article 1, abuse of power, and then focusing on Article 2, obstruction of Congress. Anticipation is already building for the president's lawyers, who will begin their opening arguments in a rare Saturday session. The president's defense team is expected to wrap up early next week, leaving senators 16 hours to ask both sides questions. Then the body could revisit calls for more witnesses. The Senate can vote to overrule those determinations, and it's unclear if 4 Republicans would vote with Democrats to approve witnesses. So far, Senate Democrats have shot down calls for a witness swap. The annual Lake Superior Ice Festival kicks off this evening. It's a community-driven event celebrating the coolest aspects our region has to offer. CBS 3's Caitlin Moffitt is live at the Ice Festival. Caitlin, hey, how's it going out there?
Yeah, hey, Tony. I am currently here at the Barker's Island as preparations are well underway. And you'll see behind me, we've actually got some ice sculptors working on their ice sculptor. And that's actually one of the photo op opportunity, as it's going to be a snowmobile once it is completed. So it's a pretty neat thing you don't want to miss as you come out tomorrow. I am joined here now with one of the organizers for the event, Nikki Formakis. Thank you for joining us so much today. So with the ice sculptors being such a big thing and the trivia questions, can you tell me a little bit about where the ice sculptures are going to be placed around town and what the trivia questions are going to entail?
Sure. So we have 18 ice sculptures around town, plus about 6 more down here on Barker's Island. You can find the locations of the 18 on our website, LakeSuperiorIceFestival.com. Each one has a trivia question attached to it that's specific to the business. You can go online to LakeSuperiorIceFestival.com to submit your answers and try to win some fabulous prizes.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Now, I know this event obviously brings in a ton of people to Superior. What can you say that does for their economic outlook, I guess, for the businesses and everyone here in Superior for this town?
Sure. Well, this is a community-based event. The entire community comes together to make this possible. You know, from the hotels to the businesses that are having the ice specials. This is a great opportunity for Superior Superior to showcase itself and to get people to come and enjoy our city.
Awesome. So one more question is, I guess, what are some of the activities happening tomorrow, and some of which are new additions from last year's?
Sure. So we will still have our snow slide. That seems to be a favorite for everyone. You'll have the ice sculptures, the kids zone with the princesses and characters. But we also have a Lake Superior Coupe tournament, and then there's also a disc golf. Who wouldn't want to play disc golf in the snow? So come on out.
Awesome. All right. Well, it sounds like a great day. From Saturday, it starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, goes all day long, and there is a fireworks show at the evening around 5:30. So there's a lot of activities you don't want to miss. And like she mentioned, you can head to their website. Thank you, Nikki, for joining us. I'm going to send things back to you.
Coupe and disc golf in the snow. That sounds like a lot of fun. Thanks, Caitlin. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, how mushers are planning to take on the wet and melting snow ahead of the upcoming Bear Grease.
Hey, let's talk about the almanac. 30 degrees was the high temp today. Normal is 19. Record, though, is 50 from 1892. Looks like we'll hold on to that record for one more year. And we'll likely hold on to this warm spell for at least another week. We'll talk about its duration and how long the snow is going to persist. All of that for free coming up after the break.
I guarantee you, if your home just burned to the ground or you had a major accident, your first thing you're going to think about is not going to be, I just saved $500 on my auto and home insurance today. It's going to be, am I covered? At Vernon Insurance Agency, our first, second, and third goal is that you understand your coverage, there's no gaps in coverage, and your claims are covered when you have them. Call Vernon Insurance Agency today, 218-384-3970.
Join us at Barker's Island Inn for the Barker's Island Inn Lake Superior Ice Festival Craft Fair on January 25th. The craft fair goes from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Barker's Island Inn Great Lakes Ballroom.
At Miller Hill Subaru, we believe in the mission of saving homeless pets and placing as many as possible in loving homes. Nearly 800 pets have been given a second chance through the Subaru Love a Pet adoption event in the past 12 years. We sponsor rescue groups near and far who share in this mission. And it's clear our amazing community supports adoption, welcoming these deserving pets to their forever homes. This is what collaboration and commitment to our community means to us.
Wi-Fi here, Wi-Fi there, Wi-Fi where you've never Wi-Fi'd before. Wi-Fi beyond walls, beyond boundaries, beyond compare. Wi-Fi like your house is one giant hotspot, the hottest hotspot. Sound extreme? It is.
It's our do-it-all concealer. Instant eraser from Maybelline, New York. Iconic cushion tip does it all. Erase, shape, correct. No wonder it's America's #1 concealer. Instant eraser, only from Maybelline, New York.
Mainstream Boutique's winter clearance sale is happening now through Saturday, January 25th. Stop on by and find the look for you at Mainstream Boutique, located in Cloquet.
Your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
We gonna get this party started.
Be there live for music's biggest night. Billie Eilish, Aerosmith with Run DMC, Lizzo, Camila Cabello, Her, Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani, Ariana Grande, Demi Lovato, and the Jonas Brothers. Alicia Keys hosts.
Let's keep it going.
Unexpect everything. The Grammys Live, Sunday at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on CBS.
Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
You can call this low pressure system we've dealt with the past few days the Energizer system because it just keeps going. It's not packing much of a punch, but it persistently keeps bringing rain and snow mixes to the region, and of course that has knocked down the roadways, and so you do need to watch out. We're on the Twin Ports here. We're on the verge of becoming good once again, but there are some scattered slippery stretches on 35 down towards the Twin Cities, and then some slippery stretches up Highway 61 and towards the Iron Range as well. The farther west you get, the better conditions go, and the farther east you go right now, the worse things get. So we do have some snow-covered roads to talk about once you get closer to the UP. A timeline, though, for precipitation is it should go away in Minnesota by early tomorrow morning, and then a few more hours later it should ease up for Wisconsin and the UP as well, though a little lake effect could linger just a bit longer in that neck of the woods. Current conditions at the airport right now, warmer than normal. The warm spell continues. It's 29 degrees above zero, 89%. That's the relative humidity. And a north wind going 8 miles per hour isn't really causing any trouble with any wind chill factors. Barometric pressure, 30.6 inches of mercury, 1,018 millibars. At the surface, it actually is a little bit on the higher side, but up aloft, it's low enough indeed for clouds and precip. Current temperatures at the surface, 32 Watersmeet, low 30s as well, Ironwood, and 32 across the board in northwestern Wisconsin, including Superior. Minnesota temperatures run a little wider range, 23 International Falls to 32 down on Park Point, and everybody else seems to be in between. This temperature regime, this profile, just might stick with us for another week here as that warm spell continues to cling to the area. Perhaps after Groundhog Day, though, we'll start to go back to normal and perhaps even colder than normal. But right now with the Doppler map, with that low-pressure system centered and occluded well to our southeast, we're seeing its northern fringes working into the UP and northwestern Wisconsin here with a little more rain and snow mix, and that's crossing the lake and spilling into Minnesota as well. And so bottom line is a 40% chance to get more of this activity in Minnesota tonight, 70% chance for Wisconsin and the UP. But getting into tomorrow, we'll be in between low-pressure systems, one getting farther to the east, another farther to the west, with a high-pressure system up to our north, not really sinking into our region. So by combining the three and splitting the difference here, we come up with a cloudy sky, but generally dry conditions for the weekend. Although, again, keep in mind, the snow may last a little bit longer for Wisconsin tomorrow. And so these cloudy conditions stay with us pretty much for the rest of the next week ahead, again, as we stay in between these low-pressure systems. But later on next week, that low to the west finally will start to kick out another chance for some flurries after a cloudy but dry break. Tonight in Minnesota, range of low temps goes from 16 inland to 29 by the lake. 40% shot for more showers of snow. 60% chance to 70% chance for Wisconsin and the UP. 27 to 30 for the low temps there. And then tomorrow's daytime highs in Wisconsin, mid-30s with cloudy sky and a 40% chance for a little more mix through the day. But like I mentioned, I think it'll start to dry up, if not clear up in Minnesota. High temps near 30 there. And now here's the extended forecast. It's fairly repetitive for the high temp, close to 30. Overnight low temp, pretty repetitive as well. 22 more often than not. In between, well, cloudy sky from Saturday to Monday, and then slight chances for flurries and light snow from Tuesday to next Friday. Anthony, it's not really a devastating late January type forecast where we could go towards 30 below, although some snow and ice fans are hoping so we can conserve our precious snow resources.
All right, thanks, Dave. Well, as the John Bear Sled Dog Marathon nears, we can now see how the weather conditions may help or hinder the racers' performance. CBS 3's Alex Libby spoke with race officials today. He joins us in studio for us tonight to tell us how the mushers will fare with mild temps in the forecast. Alex.
Yeah, Tony, with the temperatures forecasted to be mild in the 30s, race officials say those mild temps could slow the pace of the race. This time of the year is normally when we see some of the coldest temperatures, and officials say that is a big reason why they schedule the race when it is. Monica Hendrickson, spokesperson for the Bear Grease, says the trails have plenty of snow, but the mild temps could change how they run the race.
We've actually been talking to a couple mushers today, and they say the snow conditions are amazing, but they're probably going to change their strategy a little bit. If it gets too warm during the day, they'll probably rest during the day and then run in the evenings or early mornings and kind of look at what's best for their team.
She says the perfect conditions for the dogs are when temps are sub-zero, but with these warmer temperatures, they make for a more comfortable experience for the spectators. And coming up at 10, I talked with a racer of the Bear Grease to see how they are preparing for the warm conditions.
All right, thanks, Alex. And here is a schedule of events for race day. At 7 a.m., Billy's Bar opens for breakfast. Then an hour later at 8, shuttles begin running from UMD to Billy's and run until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. At 9 a.m., you get a chance to meet the mushers, and then at 11, that's when the race begins. And between 2:15 and 2:30 is when the last team is expected to leave Billy's. There are also plenty of Bear Grease events tomorrow, including the opening ceremonies, dinner, the vet check, and, of course, everyone's favorite, the cutest puppy contest. Still to come on sports, a big game ahead of us down the road at the AMSOIL Arena. Neil Viersma has a preview from the arena. Next, Kelly's in with sports.
Save up to 40% in any in-stock Winter Columbia and the North Face at Northwest Outlet.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Toyota. Presidential award-winning service. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler. KohlerToyota.com.
Do you know what the U of M does for you? From farms to breweries and orchards to markets, discover how the University of Minnesota is cultivating a new crop of Minnesota businesses.
Northwest Outlet, your winter clothing headquarters for men, women, and kids. Northwest Outlet stocks more winter clothing than anyone in the area. Hurry, for a limited time only, save up to 40% off on any in-stock Columbia and the North Face winter jackets, pants, boots, gloves, hats. That's right, up to 40% off. Spend more, save even more. Nobody even comes close to their gigantic winter inventory. Save up to 40% off on any in-stock Columbia and the North Face. Northwest Outlet, the family's winter clothing headquarters.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
We gonna get this party started!
Be there live for music's biggest night. Billie Eilish, Aerosmith with Run DMC, Lizzo, Camila Cabello, Her, Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani, Ariana Grande, Demi Lovato, and the Jonas Brothers. Alicia Keys hosts.
Let's keep it going!
Unexpect everything. The Grammys Live, Sunday at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on CBS.
When news happens, CBS3 is there.
The smoke is still really heavy. You can smell it.
Tonight at 10, we'll be out here in the storm. Anytime, day or night.
And while this is a very active scene, the public is being asked to stay away from the area.
Good afternoon, I'm Kristen Bakke. We're cutting in with a follow-up to some breaking news out of Cloquet this morning. CBS3 first got word of this fire and went to the scene at around 3:30.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, turn to CBS3.
I want people to tune in, and I want them to see a friend, because I'm a mother, and I know how hard it could be. You're doing all these things, and then you have the child, and then no one talks to you about how lonely it could be. You know, who do you lean to? Who do you connect with? This segment is very important to me because I get to work, but I also get to work on my passion.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with Leanne Valdez on CBS3.
Come on down for big laughs. Hello, everybody. I like those glasses.
Trying to imitate you.
Come on down for rip-roaring fun. Amazing. You made it. Come on down for spectacular surprises. $35,000. Just won $200,000. Oh, yeah. It's a new car. You need this in your life. Yes. Boy, is it going to be a good hour. The Price is Right. Weekday CBS Daytime.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
It is a big night over at AMSOIL Arena. The number 2 team in the country is in town to take on the Bulldogs. And that is where we find our very own Neil Viersma, who is inside the arena. Neil, I expect this to be a crazy atmosphere tonight. How hungry are the Dogs for a win?
That's right, Kelly. The Bulldogs, they're hungry for a win after being swept just a week ago at St. Cloud State. But it doesn't get any easier because the number 2 ranked team in the country is here at AMSOIL tonight. That's the North Dakota Fighting Hawks. This weekend series will mark the only time the 2 teams will square off this season. UMD hasn't played any other team more than North Dakota. 244 meetings, with the first happening back on November 26th of 1954. And just last season, the two teams split right down the middle, each picking up 2 wins apiece in 4 meetings. Head coach Scott Sandelin says a lot has changed since they last met in February of 2019.
They've become a real solid team early. They haven't had the injuries they had last year, and they're getting some guys scoring goals, which is unlike last year where they didn't have the puck luck. And right now, they're firing on all cylinders. They've got a couple very capable goalies with Shield and Tomei, and it doesn't matter who we see. I mean, we still got to get pucks there.
Well, it's going to be a packed building. It's going to be loud. It's going to be, the atmosphere is going to be great in here, and it's always a fun series playing North Dakota, and it always gets a little chippy. And I think was it last year I didn't even play both games. It was how I got kicked out, and so I'm ready. I'm ready for my revenge.
Wolf later added that he hopes to play at least 1 period, but I think Scott Sandelin wants him to play, maybe 3 or 4. But as I look around, more and more people piling in. Number 1 versus number 2 in the NCHC conference standings. Bulldogs, they're 8 points behind the Fighting Hawks, so they can pick up a couple wins here. That'll be huge. Just a little over 1 hour to go right here before puck drop at 7:36. And with that, I'll send things back to you, Kelly.
All right, thank you, Neil. Nick Wolf's mom told him this week, you better stay on the ice. So he's got a few people that are getting him to stay in that game. The UMD women back in WCHA action on the road tonight. Tonight and tomorrow they are at St. Cloud State, hoping to extend that win streak. This one just got going a little while ago. The first period had just ended. Minnesota Duluth was out in front already, 1-0. These 2 games are crucial in racking up WCHA points. We'll have a final score for you at 10 p.m. Il jouait à basque. I Googled that, and it was Google Translate, and I tried to speak French. I'm going to move on now. That's about all the French I studied for this story. The Milwaukee Bucks are in Paris. They're in Paris, guys, and I wanted to speak French. I practiced it, and they're taking on the Charlotte Hornets. France ranks as the #2 market in Europe for NBA Pass League subscriptions. Fitting that Giannis Antetokounmpo breaks out the Euro step. The Greek freak busts through the lane for the dunk. Bucks trail by 3 in the first quarter. To the second, Eric Bledsoe with the tough drive finishes at the rim for the layup. Hornets with a 5-point lead. Bucks finally tie this thing up as Kyle Korver misses from the corner in the third. Dante DiVincenzo, though, is there for the tip-in, and they never look back from there. The pass again goes to Antetokounmpo in the fourth. He brings it in and throws down the two-handed slam. Bucks with a come-from-behind victory. They win 116-104. 4-3, the final. Bonjour.
Parlez-vous français?
You speak French?
Oui. All right, we're going to end it there. Thanks, Callie. The John Bear Creek Sled Dog Marathon may not get underway until Sunday, but that did not stop some tiny dogs from racing today.
On your marks, get set, mush!
These 4-legged Bear Creek hopefuls competed in KQ Radio Mini Sled Dog Race at the crack of dawn this morning. The tiny dogs even pulled sleds in the race at Canal Park Brewing. Maybe someday some of these pups will race in the John Bear Creek. It looks like fun. Mush! I know that's a big thing. Everybody likes going out for the puppies.
Yeah, they do. Every year.
Every year.
Temperature-wise, it's going to be warmer than normal for the week ahead, and we should start to dry up, if not clear up, for the weekend.
All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock tonight.